As usual, the first Sunday in February is for the Snowrun Enduro. Torrential rain in South Wales has caused flooding and some competitors have been unable to get here. It's nice to meet some of the regulars again.
Oh, H.
Morning.
How are you?
How are you, Frank? Happy New Year.
And the same to you, yes. Let's hope it's better than last year.
H is in good spirits. Here's Wetra's answer to the two Ronnies, the two Bobs. With serious flooding in South Wales, we could expect sticky conditions in the Cruachan Forest. Someone trying to nudge one of the trees out of the way. It was too early in the morning for clubman rider Jonathan Hinham.
It's too early in the day to do that.
Aye.
I think it was his only mistake because he finished third overall in the clubman class. Paul Boother trying to do the odd wheelie. Kurt Luby on the KTM, and the TM rider, that was Paul Lee. Bob Jeffries is pointing out good lines, but he should have known better. You don't stand behind the bikes. Mark Thomas went in at the shallow end, and then it got much deeper. The next two were going to have a race. Luke Whiting was on the better line. Stuart Young seemed to be bogged down. Then, from nowhere, someone appeared on a trials bike. I thought it was a marshal, but no, it's a competitor, Jim Brown. Bob Jeffries looked on in amazement as Jim sailed through this section. Special treatment for Adrian Lavacombe, guided through this section by the clerk of the course, Peter Brooks. The riders were pleased to know that this part of the course was only used on lap 1. There were deep ruts in places. You needed to pick a good line. Even on the drier ground there was lots of surface water. Someone was out on a big CCM, perhaps getting practice for the Cambrian Rally. Some of the hill climbs were fairly steep. David Lee on the CCM, he'd got plenty of power, but getting it to go in a straight line was more of a problem. Over the brash did cause problems for a few riders. Everything was so slippery today.
It gets better.
Aye.
It gets better out here.
Is it?
Yes.
Aye, Charlie.
Never believe anything a cameraman tells you. James Rayner was in an aggressive mood. I think most people had a bit of fun on the go-in. The special test was something else. Deep down in the Cruachan Forest, it was wet and muddy everywhere. Matt Hartley had come all the way from Burnley just to get stuck in the ruts. The bridge across the stream was a godsend today. Remember I said that Bob Jeffries should know better about standing behind the bikes? Oh well, I'll know better next time. That was not the best line. Was there a good line anywhere? Well, that was quite good. Towards the end of the day, some of the riders were getting very tired. Without a doubt, the special test was the most difficult part of the course. Katrina was riding, and even towards the end of the day, she was still spotlessly clean. The trials rider, Jim Brown, sailed through the test and finished 14th overall. Sportsman rider Jonathan Phillips struggled a little bit on the go-in, but he still won the class. He was the fastest on the special test. In the Clubman four-stroke class, the runner-up was number 142, Darren James, and the winner was number 138, Gary Newman.
142.
The top Clubman rider, Wayne Johnson from the Wirral, riding a KTM 200. Wayne won the class by 20 seconds. The runner-up was David King. In the expert class, Neil Williams from Brecon was very much at home in these muddy conditions, and he finished runner-up on the day. And the top expert rider, number 15, Keith Horsnell from the Ronda, he won both special tests and finished 24 seconds up on Neil. Keith was riding a Honda 250. And the winner in the championship class, number 4, Wayne Braybrook from Burnley. Wayne was also on a Honda, but the new 450. Those were just some of the winners, but the top award, Man of the Day, went to Bob Mullins.
This side, Bob, this side.
Cut it out now. Cut it out now.
Representing enduro.uk.co.
Come on, Bob, it's dark soon.
He had no problems going across the brash. Was he using one of Bob Perrin's old enduro tyres? Surface water, however deep, wouldn't be a problem. Bob is a good swimmer. But he needs to practice his diving.
Nice position, Frank.
You're taking this too seriously, Bob.
Shit. I am very soft. Best place to be.
It's getting easier.
Bob had bad luck on the special test. He was simply sailing through, but there were slower riders all over the place.
This is the fast bit.
When he did get going again, he was even more determined. It was very entertaining for the spectators. He didn't know that I was here, though.
Frank, will you cut her off? Is it one of you or several?
There's two of me.
No hesitation, back on the bike, one kick, off it goes, and Bob rides off into the sunset. That was the Snowrun Enduro.